guys, it's Casey, and welcome back to another vlog. So I'm starting bright and early this morning because I know that I have a lot of things to do, mostly because I have a lot of things to talk about. What do I want to start with? I worked a little bit on the house, just a little bit, not too much as you can tell. I ended up exchanging the oak wood for birch because I think it looks better, and I have started experimenting with what I want to do with stone. I think I want to use this like smooth stone stuff. Maybe it's the floor, I'm not sure, but I started collecting a bit more cobblestone, and I have a furnace here where I've been smelting some stuff up, so there's all of that. But really, of course, what the next couple of episodes are going to be about is me continuing my story, because I left you guys last episode talking about my early childhood life, about my dad and my mom, and kind of their opinions on my upbringing. So I left off the story talking about how my parents would get into arguments. My mom wanted me to just keep doing all of the housework that I had been doing, my enormously long to-do list. And my dad was like, we should give her a break because she's 5 years old. And so I would hear a lot of these arguments because they weren't discreet about them. They were trying to be discreet about them. But they would have these arguments in their bedroom, and my bedroom was in the attic, right on top of theirs. So I heard a lot of what my dad would talk about. I don't want birch there. And so they argued for quite a long time, for truthfully like a year or so, about me and how they wanted to raise me and that kind of thing. And ultimately what they decided on was that once or twice a month my dad would take me out of my like normal routine, and then instead of all of the responsibilities that I had for that day, he would teach me things. Like I was talking about in the last episode, my dad took over like my education, and once or twice a month he would take me like out into the woods to show me how to make an axe and use a pickaxe and that kind of thing, or we would stay home and he would give me a book and I would learn how to read, or we would work on like math stuff or whatever. And those were truthfully some of the best days I can remember. I have a lot of really fond memories of my dad, and those are a lot of them. Just the moments that we spent learning and away from my mom. They were really wonderful times. And of course, they couldn't last forever. So they continued on for about 4 or 5 years. I was maybe 13 when my dad's work schedule picked up, and he couldn't devote the time to my lessons anymore. I suspect now that my mom had something to do with that, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, so he no longer really had the time to put in to teaching me. Things went back to the way they were before, except now I knew that I was missing something. And it was really difficult to focus most days because I wasn't thinking about the things that I had to do and the things that was like on my to-do list and all of that, all of the chores and responsibilities that I had. I was thinking about learning. I really wanted to know kind of the knowledge that my dad had, and I wanted to, like, I knew that I was missing something, but there was nothing that I could do to make up for that. And so it was just really weird. It was a really odd situation. But then one night, my dad came home from a really long business trip, and For once, when my dad came home, my mom was not home. And it was unexpected because usually she would be home while he was out, or at least when he was expected back. But he came home and it was just me at the house. My mom was out for the night and he had a gift with him. And I was 16 by this point. So this is about a year or a year and a half before I left home. But he brought me my first computer. It was the computer that they set up right in front of my parents' bedroom. And my mom would allow me to use it once a week for online schooling, which was really kind of her. It was really unexpected that she would have allowed me to use it. And of course, just as I'm getting into the next part of my story, it's getting dark. So I'm sure that this video is super short and I'm very, very, very sorry. But we will have to continue this story next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I, as always, look forward to hearing from you in the comments. And of course, we will see what happens next time.